it time to buy or sell, or just do you need to wait? Coming up, real estate expert Louie Ortiz is here to break down the housing market for us. Boogity, boogity, boogity.
Yeah, I wish the real estate market would boogity, boogity, boogity.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish it'd get going.
Well, in some ways, depending on if you're buying or selling, now may be a good time to get in or a good time to get out of it. You know, his interest rates are at historic lows. Home prices are low. So is now a good time to buy? Well, we have our real estate expert, Louie Ortiz, here to let us know.
Good to see you again,
Good
Louie. How
morning.
you been?
Good to see you.
Okay, so the numbers that just came out, I still think they're mixed, are they
Yes,
not?
yes.
Okay.
We're still seeing declines in most areas around the county. We're still seeing buyers kind of sit on the fence and waiting to buy property, but there's some tremendous deals out there. There really are.
So why is it then, with real estate being as affordable as it's ever been in San Diego, relatively speaking, and with these interest rates so low, why are buyers not jumping in here?
I think there's a lot of reasons. Certainly financing is a little bit more challenging for buyers right now. But I think the main reason is I think there's just not a lot of sense of urgency amongst buyers. I think the buyers that are looking for property, they're really looking for bargains and deals. And unless they can find those deals, there's just not a lot of urgency.
Isn't the market just full of deals, though, right now, with these short sales and foreclosures and so forth? I mean, don't you have to get that inventory soaked up here before we can start getting the values back up?
Absolutely. My personal opinion is I think we're going to be seeing declines here in the county for a while. I was looking at some of the beach properties just recently for a client, and it was amazing of how many active listings there are for sale and so few pendings in certain areas around the county. And when you look at just at the inventory numbers, it just appears that we're going to continue to see declines until we get through some of that inventory.
Well, it seems like a lot of the problem is financing, and people do not have that huge down payment that's needed to now buy a property. So what do you tell people who want to buy something but can't come up with the 20%?
Well, they need to work on their credit. They need to, be creative with their financing. What I'm finding also with there's a lot of luxury buyers, coming in from other areas around the country here buying San Diego real estate, and a lot of them are cash buyers. And even these cash buyers are not buying unless they really get a great deal. So it's not always financing.
Well, now's the time to be picky if you're a buyer.
Right.
Yeah.
But now, are the buyers out there, or are there relatively few buyers able to qualify it and that have cash?
There's a lot of buyers out there. In fact, right now we actually saw an increase in the number of pending sales from this same time last month. We're about 700 more pending sales this month over last year. So there's actually more pendings than there were last year. So there are more transactions.
So how do you make your property, if you're trying to sell it, how do you make it more attractive without just absolutely going rock bottom price?
Well, certainly marketing is a big part of it, getting the home ready, staging, that sort of thing, but it's really price. Price is really what's driving the market right now. And I'll tell you, I've seen a few challenges right now in the market as well. One of them is with appraisals. I see buyers and sellers agree upon a sales price, and when the appraisal comes in, a lot of times those appraisals are not coming in at what the buyer and seller agreed upon, and that poses a whole new basket of problems.
Well, yeah, but isn't that something that's happened in the last couple of years? During the mortgage meltdown, you used to be able to go pick your appraiser, and with a wink wink and a nudge nudge, magically the appraisal would work out. Now this appraiser has to be like this third party that doesn't have any affiliation with anybody, right?
Right. And some of the luxury homes, properties over $2 million, a lot of times they're ordering multiple appraisals, and a buyer might get an appraisal with 2 or 3 that are right, and one of them is less. And then suddenly they're focusing on that one low appraisal. And appraisals are a real problem right now that I'm starting to see around the county, more so than in the past.
I want to ask you about something, because with this debt ceiling crisis that's happening in Washington right now, one of the things people are talking about is if they don't come to an agreement, interest rates could possibly go up. That could change the face of the housing market.
Tremendous.
Do you suggest people, if they're thinking of getting in, get in now? Absolutely.
If you look at interest rates, they're at historic lows, and there's just so many tremendous buying opportunities. It's a wonderful time to buy San Diego real estate. It's amazing to see how much beach property, this is one of the most desirable places in the country, if not the world, to live. And I'm just amazed that we're not seeing more of that beach property being gobbled up. It's just some really tremendous deals out there.
Well, the price point's still high for a lot of what people can afford. I mean, just because it's near the beach and the prices have come down doesn't mean that the average Joe can afford to buy there.
Now, something else we also have heard floated is the idea that in this debt ceiling crisis conversation here, that they might consider taking away part of your mortgage deduction. Wouldn't that also have a devastating effect on home sales?
Yeah, huge. Anything that affects interest rates or a buyer's ability to purchase is going to affect our market. Right now, I think another thing that's maintaining our market slightly is that a lot of people have these adjustable rate loans. And so right now, those mortgage payments are very low. Just imagine if those rates starts to go up.
Yeah,
That's the nightmare scenario for me, because I don't have enough money in my house right now to refinance.
Right.
And so I can't get out of this adjustable rate. Well, it's great while it's low. I keep going to the bank saying, fix it. Just give me any rate, just name your percentage and fix it so I know what my payments are going to be. bank won't even talk to you as long as your payments are current.
I'll tell you, that's something that really could affect our market. If interest rates tick up and we start to see people starting to default again on their mortgages, we could have a wave of more short sales and foreclosures.
I want to see that.
Really quick last question. We just have a couple seconds here. You're saying now probably is a good time to buy. Is now a good time to sell?
It's a good time to sell if you are going to need to sell within the next maybe 5 years or so. If you can hang on to that property for 5 or 10 or longer, it might be good to hang on to it. But if you need to sell that property, you know, in a declining market, time is not your friend. So it's better to sell now than to wait.
Okay. Louie Ortiz, thank you for your expertise.
Thanks, Louie. Good to see you.